A new phenomenon is taking the world by storm, and workplace culture as we know it is changing fast by the day. Although this trend might just be in its early stage, organizations around the world are already feeling its impact. This new trend is quiet quitting, and in today's video, we will unravel how this phenomenon is changing the culture of work globally. The world and how we live in it has changed greatly since the pandemic and the global lockdowns that had the whole world at a standstill. These two events have been the global shakers that are making a lot of humans globally begin to rethink the peculiar work culture of the world, resulting in a strong craving for a better work-life balance. This craving has similarly seen the emergence of several concepts and ideologies regarding the culture of work, of which quiet quitting has become the most prominent. While this terminology is rather new to a work dictionary, its meanings and manifestations have long existed in the workplace, although in more subtle forms. This concept specifically describes a work culture where employees only work within the agreed and specified working hours, and don't go above and beyond this. An employee who is quiet quitting, you don't quit your job, you just choose willfully not to put in any extra hours or efforts in work-related activities. The recent surge in this phenomenon has been widely traced back to a viral video on TikTok, posted by a young engineer named Zaid Khan, who described the concept to millions of social media users. Since his viral video, the concept has been the subject of debate between industry managers and employees. Employers view the idea of quiet quitting as a notion that supports willful employee underperformance. Employees, especially Gen Zs, among whom the concept has become most prominent, merely see it as being a crucial measure for maintaining a reasonable work-life balance and setting respectable boundaries within the workspace. The tsunami of resignations that was triggered by the global pandemic was undeniably the first notable sign that the work culture, especially in Europe and America, is fast evolving. Employees, who for the moment couldn't afford to quit their jobs quickly, adopted the fast becoming popular notion of quiet quitting in their quest for a more balanced work-life culture. At the height of the pandemic, most of the world's leading corporations quickly adopted the practice of remote working, a practice that allowed many employees to experience a shift in the workplace environment, as well as to reimagine what a better and more balanced work life would look like, as opposed to the popular hustle culture that's always been synonymous with work globally. Remote working also allowed the bulk of the world's labor force to reimagine the future of work, a future that is greatly detached from the popular "work is life" mantra that has dominated work culture globally for ages. Even while there was no certainty regarding how soon the vast majority of quitters could land another job that'd be more suitable for the work-life balance that they now craved, they preferred having all of their time to themselves as opposed to living a life that was overly centered around their jobs. For many others who resorted to quiet quitting, they found that doing the bare minimum would be the best line of action, as they had no other jobs to fall back to and couldn't yet afford to quit their present jobs. The practice has continued to wax stronger among employees, and as opposed to the view that many employers are seeking to push that quiet quitters are outrightly lazy and unethical, available data and some labor experts support the contrary. Quiet quitters are in fact hardworking employees who are smart enough to not let themselves get unduly exploited by the exhausting hustle culture of big corporations and modern workplaces. With much of the world's younger population quickly incorporating quiet quitting into their work culture, an increasingly huge divide between employers and employees has since emerged. While employers feel that they are barely able to get enough from their younger workforce, Gen Zs, who make up the bulk of this demographic, argue that they're now able to set clear boundaries that allow them to devote more time to other things that matter and which they're similarly enthusiastic about, like their families, hobbies, and other businesses as well. Many have also acknowledged that it's their best technique for dealing with burnouts that are commonplace in the hustle culture of traditional workplaces. Many Gen Zs have also argued that the practice enables them to reconnect with their priorities outside of the workplace and set reasonable boundaries beyond work. The practice is now being widely viewed by labor experts as a reinvented approach to tackling the long-held notion that the only way to become successful in the workplace is to work far beyond your capacity and never back down from a task. While this belief has appeared to be highly productive, It has also been destructive and has resulted in extreme burnout rates and mental health issues. However, this theory, in practice, can turn out differently for individuals, especially if you are an employer or a business owner and would primarily be on the receiving end of the effects of quiet quitting. Labor experts and researchers have likewise predicted that the theory in practice could cause effects that go beyond maintaining a better work-life balance, especially as it reduces the dedication employees have towards their jobs, which in turn affects the overall level of productivity in the workplace. The practice also hinders employees from making stellar contributions to the organizations they work for, an event that could hinder their career advancement in the long run. Many business owners are staunchly convinced that quiet quitting undermines productivity, and they unrelentingly discourage employees from taking part in it. The labor market is currently witnessing multiple job openings as well as the modern rise and expansion of remote work, leaving a fast-growing number of young workers thoroughly assessing how they intend to work going forward. There is little data to suggest that quiet quitting as a concept is just gaining worldwide adoption, or that it is because of the post-pandemic trend and the Great Resignation that many young workers experienced. The fact remains that a whole lot of employees are no longer feeling the need to go the extra mile, only to be laid off eventually anyway. Even with layoffs being low and job security getting better, quiet quitting continues to be the most preferred option for young workers especially, rather than continuing to uphold the hustle and overtime culture of conventional workplaces. Data has shown evidence of a historic drop in productivity over the last 2 quarters, and experts have attributed this to quiet quitting among other factors like technical setbacks from the mass adoption of remote work, increasing rate of job switches, and a host of others. Recent research conducted investigating the phenomenon of quiet quitting showed that almost half of America's total labor force actively participated in quiet quitting, even when companies' productivity data didn't show a quantitative shift in how workers felt about their jobs from previous years. The result also revealed that the practice was more common among employees who were Gen Z and millennials. Since its viral spread across the internet via TikTok, labor experts have revealed that employers might have a significant role to play in curbing this practice by introducing substitute practices that would still enable employees to be diligent and enthusiastic about their jobs and continue to remain highly productive. Suggestions have included the introduction of family leave entitlements, showing concern for private issues of employees, and paying genuine attention to employees' health and well-being in general. Research has also revealed that undervaluing and underappreciating the roles of employees have also contributed greatly to the spike in the practice, as well as the denial of work flexibility. Research has also suggested that employees are still willing to go far and beyond in the workplace, but only for organizations and managers whom they trust and respect. It is therefore imperative for managers and business owners to develop positive relationships with their employees beyond business as usual by maintaining open and honest approaches to communication. This could involve encouraging collaborative work and encouraging employees to voice out their concerns on management issues and their work satisfaction. There continues to be no conclusive evidence to prove that the practice of quiet quitting is good or bad in a workplace. What is rather apparent is that employees are increasingly adopting this practice to set clear boundaries and maintain a healthy work-life balance toward pursuing other passions outside of work. We look forward to knowing if you've ever taken part in quiet quitting at your work. Hit the like and subscribe buttons as well, and turn on your notifications for more intriguing videos like this one.